About a month ago, I was out in Colorado doing a backpacking trip, and I was up near Aspen in a place called Maroon Bells, one of the most beautiful places in Colorado and maybe in the whole United States. And while I was on that trip, I had to summit a ridge that was at about 12,000 feet. Now, I had been up 14,000 foot mountains before. This is the first time where I had to bear the burden of a 50-pound pack on my back as I was climbing. I experienced that day something that was challenging, in some ways excruciating, to have to climb this mountain with this huge burden on my back. And as I summited it and eventually got down the mountain, I realized something profound, how awesome it was to not have a 50-pound pack on my back. And then it made me think about the sacrament of reconciliation, because the sacrament of reconciliation is ultimately an invitation from the Lord to let go of our burdens, to let go of those things which weigh us down. And while we can maybe survive sort of when we have a 50-pound pack on our back, when we allow the Lord to set us free, we live an entirely new life. We live with a greater freedom. In Galatians 5, it says, "It was for freedom Christ set us free, so do not submit again to the yoke of slavery." That's ultimately the invitation from the Lord, is to let go of those things which burden us and hand them to Jesus. But sometimes we're afraid. Sometimes we're afraid that we'll be confronted by the priest, or the priest will be angry with us. But ultimately, we need to know that Jesus is the one that's forgiving us. Jesus is the one that's forgiving us through the hands and the ministry of the priest. And in all my years of being a priest, one of the things that's always stuck out is the great gift of somebody bringing their sins, bringing their shame, bringing their burden to the sacrament of reconciliation. And in my years of being a priest, I've never been angry. I've never been frustrated. I've only been greatly satisfied that the person has the courage to bring everything before the Lord. So I invite you to open up your heart to the Lord, to allow the Lord in, and to have the courage to come to the sacrament, have the courage to give everything to Jesus. Because when we let go of our burdens, we're able to live in a new freedom and a new joy.